Welcome to PCWORX Tech Point. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at Intel's miniature gaming machine, the Haydes Canyon NUC 8i7 HVK. So far, Intel has experienced success with its NUC line of ultra-small form factor PCs. The previous NUC PCs catered to those seeking to do normal computing in an office environment, leaving the gaming market behind. This is not the case here, however, as the Haydes Canyon model is specifically configured to be a compact, VR-ready gaming PC. Without further ado, let's dive into the review. Intel launched the Haydes Canyon in two different flavors: the NUC 8i7 HVK, which is the high-end model we're looking at right now, and the entry-level NUC 8i7 HNK model. The version we have in our hands is the VR-ready model, clocking in at just under $1,000 US, which boasts a 100-watt TDP unlocked Core i7-8809G and a Radeon RX Vega M with 4GB of VRAM. The 14nm processor is a 4-core 8-thread unit that runs on a base clock of 3.1 GHz with a turbo boost of up to 4.2 GHz. While the GPU runs on a boost core clock of 1190 MHz and 800 MHz on the memory clock. For this configuration, we're going to install a 128GB SSD specifically suited for the NUC, as well as a 16GB DDR4 upgrade kit from Kingston. Installation was an absolute breeze, as you only need to remove the 6 hex screws on the backplate using the supplied Allen wrench, which will immediately reveal the internal components of the device. Once opened, the memory module snapped in place, requiring no screws or tools, while the SSD module required a single screw to lock in place. As for the system dimensions, it measured 221mm by 142mm by 39mm, and is only slightly larger than previous NUCs. This is an expected change, as more powerful hardware requires more space and more efficient cooling solutions. Included in the package is a VESA mount, a quick start guide, and of course, the power adapter. It's impossible to ignore the awesome-looking RGB embellishment on the top lid of the chassis, which definitely makes this device have the look and feel of hardcore gaming. It would fit any setup. The matte black finish is a nice touch and can make the unit look discreet if you turn off the RGB design on the lid. The no-frills design features I/O ports, which are conveniently located on the front and back of the device. The Haydes Canyon HVK features 2GB LAN ports, 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, 4 USB 3.0 Type-A ports, 1 USB 3.1 Type-C port, 1 USB 3.1 Type-A port, 1 USB 3.0 Type-A charging port, and an XDXC slot. For audio and video input, the NUC has an HDMI port as well as a 3.5mm combo audio jack that is capable of 7.1 digital audio output. The HVK kit we had didn't come with an installed operating system, so we installed Windows 10 Pro. The BIOS version of the Haydes Canyon models are already immune to Meltdown and Spectre as well, which is good for peace of mind. Next, let's take a look at some performance benchmarks in synthetic and real-world tests to give an accurate representation of the HVK's performance. All tests were done in the high-performance power mode without any background processes to ensure maximum speed. Multi-threaded 3D rendering on Cinebench R15 ran well, with a score of 820 points, which indicated that performance of the 8809G processor is faster than both the 7700HQ and 6700 i7 models. For the GPU synthetic test, we tested 3D Mark Firestrike, which tried to emulate a gaming experience at 1080p resolution with medium fidelity. The RX Radeon Vega M chip scored 10,109 points on its GPU score, which puts it slightly behind a GTX 1060 Max-Q and is about 30% faster than a 1050 Ti. For real-world performance, we tested the HVK on Rise of the Tomb Raider at 1080p, very high graphics settings. We noticed that it still performs just under systems with a 1060 Max-Q and resulted in a very playable average of 48 frames per second. Lowering the settings down a bit would easily make the average frame rate reach 60 frames per second or above. Keep in mind that the Radeon Vega M also supports FreeSync, a variable refresh rate option for more fluid gameplay. In PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, performance remains consistently satisfying, running around 52 frames per second in high settings at 1080p. Tested a hot drop sequence and wandered in open areas of the map as well. While frames dipped considerably in heated firefights, it still remained enjoyable and playable. Again, dropping the settings more could make the system achieve a desirable average of 60 frames per second. During our tests, fan noise was barely even an issue when playing games and running synthetic benchmarks. In the air-conditioned studio, you could only hear the GPU ramping up in the most intense scenes, and even that wasn't bothersome at all. As for thermal performance, running a quick Prime 95 sequence on the HVK for 30 minutes made the CPU die hit 81 degrees Celsius, which is not bad at all considering the small form factor of the device. Keep in mind that the CPU load on Prime 95 is the absolute extreme, and not indicative of normal use. So expect the CPU to run at 60 to 70 degrees Celsius when gaming normally. In conclusion, the NUC 8i7 HVK exhibited surprisingly good results and exceeded my initial expectations. This is a capable device that you could bring in your backpack for a portable VR rig. Even when used as a main terminal at home, the HVK is solid. Being much more powerful than the Skull Canyon version of the NUC makes this one totally worth the upgrade, even when compared to other compact gaming PCs on the market. Powered by a powerful Intel CPU and a discrete Vega GPU at under 3 pounds of weight, the NUC 8i7 HVK is an attractive buy for gamers looking for unconventional gaming solutions. That's it for our quick review of the Intel NUC 8i7 HVK. Thanks for watching. This has been PCWORX Tech Point. For more updates and the latest tech news, visit the PCWORX Facebook page and the official website at pcworx.ph.